I'm a little disappointed with myself, but I do have a confession to make, which is I haven't made beats in well over 2 months. Beat block is one of those things that all producers must go through, and rather than suffering through it, I went searching. And I found the answer to destroying beat block right here. These cards right here have every solution to your beat block problem. The only way I have successfully been able to get out of beat block is by making more beats. But it's almost impossible to get inspired when mentally you just want to give up. That's why I created this card set. All I need to do is shuffle this deck, pick out a card, and I can kill beat block. This is my personal version of oblique strategies for the modern producer. Here are 10 of my favorite cards from the deck. The 10-minute power hour. Every 10 minutes you want to try and complete as much of a full beat as you can. Sometimes spending hours on a beat trying to make it perfect can be the root cause of beat block. This is going to force you to focus on the idea rather than on how well it might be mixed. If you can do this successfully, by the end of the hour you are going to have 6 brand new ideas that are going to set you up for success. Find an old sample. Listening through old records trying to pick a special moment can actually help you build the beat inside of your head. When you start imagining how you're going to flip that sample and the special parts that you want to use, you're breaking down the idea that you can't make music today. For myself personally, as you can see on this card, I like to use TrackLib. That way I can clear the samples if the beat ends up getting placed, but do this however you want to do it. Make a beat only using your voice. Your mind can actually do a lot more than your fingers can do on the piano. It's really easy to quickly hum different melody ideas. And you can add different layers to create harmony, aka some chords, and you can add a bass line. You can also beatbox the drums. The idea here, again, is to let your mind help you build the beat without letting technology or music theory or anything like that stand in your way. It's all about imagining what the mind can do, and I actually picked up this tip from Timbaland's masterclass. He likes to freestyle his beats before he actually does them in the DAW. If you want to go one step farther, you can use voice to MIDI. Inside of FL Studio, you can take the parts that you recorded, you can send them to Newtone, then you can pitch them and export them as MIDI. This is going to allow you to quickly lay down those melodies, but with better sounding instruments, and then you can export the beat. Sometimes you just got to leave the studio and go and take a walk. Sometimes all it takes is a change of scenery. I find being in nature is a great way to get recharged, so turn off that laptop and go and hang outside alone or with some friends. This one's very important. Send loops. I actually have several of these cards in the pack. Beat block can actually give you that moment when you need to do what most producers do not do, which is send loops and beats. You need to get your ideas off of your laptop and into the real world. If you don't feel like making beats today, that is totally fine, but don't let that good time go to waste. Go find some new contacts, some new producers, and hit them up with some loop packs. Use the blooper. This is the blooper, and it takes samples and flips them on their head. Every time that I turn these knobs, I can create some happy accidents. It's extremely hard to get it to do the same thing twice, so I always record everything into my DAW. Then I go and find the best chunks, and I turn those into loops that I can later send out. Make presets. Sometimes finding a new sound can be the biggest roadblock of all time. That's why we created Scorch. We were so frustrated going through thousands and thousands of presets trying to find the right sounds, so we just decided to make our own. For instance, Scorch has a bunch of built-in effects. After you find something that you like, you can quickly save the preset by clicking here. Now when you want to go make a sample, you can grab those sounds and you can cook up right away. Use drums as snares and snares as drums. All right, hear me out on this one. Why can't you flip the drums? Why can't an 808 be a snare or a hi-hat MIDI turn into an 808 pattern? It's your mind that's telling you you can't do this stuff. The main point of this idea is to get you outside of your comfort zone and trying something totally different. Maybe you create the next style of rap, maybe you don't, but the idea here is to just try something new and break down those barriers that are totally mental. Send out beats. If you want to make a living off of production, you have to complete this step. I've already said this, but I need to highlight it again. You need to get this stuff off of your laptop. Beat block can give you that moment to find some new rappers on Instagram and send out some new packs. Just remember this, it's not beat block that's stopping you from becoming the biggest producer. It's you. If you don't take the action to get the beats off of your laptop, nothing in your life is going to change. So you need to spend some time, again, read this again, send some beats. Just do it. At the end of the day, these beats are all about consistency. And the one thing that I've learned in my career is that consistency kills beat block. Even when you don't want to make a beat, make a beat, because all it takes is one banger for you to instantly feel like you're back on top of your game. In total, I have about 50 of these cards sitting on top of my desk at all times. So these are all my personal cards that we went through today, but we're actually thinking about potentially turning these into nice laminated professional looking cards, but we're on the fence about it. So if you would be interested in these, please let us know in the comment section below. We can come up with some new ideas and maybe turn these into, like, you know, a cool 100 different ideas that producers could have on their desktop. And whenever they have beat block, they could instantly open these up, shuffle them around, and destroy beat block in one card. So if that's something that would interest you, please let us know in the comments section below. I'm Jacob, aka my best friend Jacob. I'm here for Sauceware Audio, and I will see you next week.